Welcome back. Today is Random Talk. So, what am I going to talk about? Let's talk about, I think, one of the main issues that we have in our day and age, which is the overload of information. Too much data. And I think we can agree on that. There is just way too much things that are happening, and they are happening way too fast. And if we want to adapt and stay informed or even competitive, if we are in business and so on, we need to change from an old pattern of gathering information into a new pattern where strategies that worked before will not work anymore. And so we need to adapt and find new strategy to deal with this large amount of information that is created on daily basis and being able to use this information effectively to take precise decision. So, and just to give you an idea of how much data there is, over the past 2 years, over 90% of all the data or information that has ever been created in human history has been done in the last 2 years. So that's a pretty huge amount. And the primary idea is we cannot. I think specialization is becoming very tough because as things are going on, each field, each specific field is generating more and more information and research and so on about each topic. And so even an expert in one field is forced to specialize in a subfield in order to know the information, to be expert in his field. So we don't have anymore someone that just do medicine or computer science and so on. Now we have people that are down this tree extremely specialized in one very specific things. And so we need to understand that if we want to understand the world, how it works, where it moves, we need to find people that are actually looking on those topics more precisely. What I mean by that is we have this tree of people that are specialized more and more in more details into each field. So if we want to be on top of everything, we need to find people, have the right guy or girl for everything. Let's say you're interested in finance. This is what influencers are about. If you're interested in finance, you're going to look for the one guy that is talking only about finance, and you are using this guy as your primary sources of information in regard to finance. Then you can have your hobbies. Let's say it's about running. You have your guy or your girl that is talking only about running, that is staying informed, that is just passionate about this topic. And so your role, the primary thing you need to do is find those people that are relevant, that are passionate, that are truthful, and that you can trust, and so on. So you need to, when you are looking for on internet and so on, you need to look for those people and not necessarily the information. You need to screen the market looking for people that are actually staying on top of each subject you want to stay informed about. And so they will do the work because they are spending their life on something, and this is the way you can take control over the overload of information and stay relevant, stay competitive, stay informed. And this is why influencers have gained such a rising popularity. It's because there is ton of them that are putting the work of gathering information and make it understandable for people, so those people don't have to spend the time uh, that they have already not much of to search for those things. And yes, so having a guide for everything, the overload of information. I thought I could last longer than that, but I'm kind of running out of ideas. But that's random talk, so that's fine. I think I already have provided a bit of value. One other thing that I could say is there is a tremendous business opportunity on this idea of summarizing and collecting the information so people uh, get informed. If you are able to build a business that gather data all around the world, make sense of it, and distribute it to people at massive scale, but also in a very targeted way. What I mean by that is, even though you have one business, you should have, for instance, if it's on YouTube, multiple channels that are focused on one specific topic. And so each channel you are talking about your other channels, which are more specific on other topics. But yeah, and if this is a big if, you are able to provide quality information at scale, yeah, I mean, I think that's a $1 billion idea, probably. But that's require a shit ton amount of work and effort. So if you have this time, this effort, and you know how to raise funds and so on, go ahead. That would be a great idea. I'm just too busy to do it. Maybe I'll do it later. Yeah, I will do my own media deficit, but when I will have more money to spend on that, because I don't want to work. That's that's too boring to work. No, I'm just kidding. I spend all my time working every day, so if I didn't like it, I think I would have given up years ago. So yes. I like consuming information that is already spot on. Just collecting tremendous amounts of information just bored me to death. I like to consume targeted information. That's why. So if I would to actually create this business, I would need people that actually are willing to look for this. And so if I want to do that, I need to have the money to hire them, or I need to put the pitch together in order to find investors. Or you can just be inspired about what I'm saying and just do it. Build your pitch, find investors, and go ahead. But yeah, the overload of information. Um, and that's also that. I mean, this YouTube channel I'm creating is, so the goal of that is just to give the top high level of everything that is. So when you watch my videos, you know which information you then need to look for, what people you then need to go after. I'm generally speaking putting myself on top of this hierarchy, giving you the rules of the game of life, so then you have the information to go after all the people that you need to go look for in order to go deeper into the subject I'm generally talking about. Because the primary aspect that we have today, and I see it myself with computer science, is the most important skill you have as an employee or in our day and age is your ability to go look for the information you need when you need it. It's not about knowing everything. It's about your ability to go and find the information you need when you need it. And to do that, you need a general knowledge about how everything's work or how your field works. I take the example of myself with data science. I know the field. I know everything I need to know in terms of general understanding and so on. So when I'm facing a project or a challenge, I know exactly how to search on the internet in order to find the information I need to solve the issue I'm facing or the or to execute on to deliver on the project I'm working on. And yeah, that's another strategy actually. On the side of hiring guy for everything, building your skill of searching, having a tree an, a tree of knowledge of your field where you know every term that there is to know, so you are able to search effectively for the information you need. Because currently it's almost safe to say that all the information you need is available somewhere. There is very few information that is still left to be discovered, and those information are generally on the cutting edge of science on very specific topics. So there is a lot. I mean, this is not to say that we know everything, but 99% of the information you will ever need in your life is already available out there. And for the 1%, and I think 1% is a very conservative estimate, it's probably well lower than that. For that being left, I think you just need to wait 1 or 2 years before you get your information. And if the information you truly need is not available then and won't be available since the next century, I mean, here we are talking about 0.000000001% of information. I think there is very rare people that need this kind of information. And so if you are reaching this point of I needed this information, this kind of information, then I'm sorry to say, but you have to become an expert in the field you are looking for that information, and then either working on and understanding the field so deep that you can find the information you need, or figure out by yourself. Yes, because this is still an option. That's just not an option that is really relevant anymore. And unfortunately enough for me, this is what I like to do. I like to figure out things on my own. And that's what's bored me to death when I work. People are asking me to go and look for the information first on the internet without giving me a chance to just figure out things on my own. That just bored me to death. I want challenge. I want to be intellectually, I don't know how to say that, but being intellectually stimulated. That's really painful to say. Those random talk are going or start getting really bad. As I'm getting more and more comfortable, I don't know what is going to be in 6 months or 1 year. That's going to be fun, especially when people are going to start talking in the chat. Because currently, I'm kind of feel alone. Yes, because I'm doing live stream just to practice talking, because I'm an introvert, and even though I'm really able to faking it, just every people would say, "Oh, that's an extrovert." No, I'm a fucking introvert, and I spend a lot of time in my head. And with the coronavirus and so on, I didn't really spend much time talking to people. I was spending much time thinking about things and so on, just being in my head. And so when things start getting better into the coronavirus, and I started starting talking to people a bit more and so on, I realized that I lost actually the ability to talk. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start doing live stream and so on, is to practice talking, practice explaining things that I have on my end. And actually, uh, I've had a few events with people and so on, and I think it's sporting well. Yeah, it's positive. It's positive. I have a positive outcome of doing this, but I think it could be very more interesting to have people to talk about, to talk with. Whatever. So, thanks you for watching. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.